States then try to impose the costs of the crisis on each other. Globalization falls apart, the global institutions become powerless, and in the process, the conflicts that have burned these past 20 years, drug wars, post-Soviet nationalism, jihadism, uncontrolled migration, and resistance to it, light a fire at the center of the system. In this scenario, lip service to international law evaporates. Torture, censorship, arbitrary detention, and mass surveillance become the regular tools of statecraft. This is a variant of what happened in the 1930s, and there is no guarantee it cannot happen again. In both scenarios, the serious impacts of climate change, demographic aging, and population growth kick in around the year 2050. If we can't create a sustainable global order and restore economic dynamism, the decades after 2050 will be chaos. So I want to propose an alternative. First, we save globalization by ditching neoliberalism. Then we save the planet and rescue ourselves from turmoil and inequality by moving beyond capitalism itself. Ditching neoliberalism is the easy part. There's a growing consensus among protest movements, radical economists, and radical political parties in Europe as to how you do it. Suppress high finance, reverse austerity, invest in green energy, and promote high-waged work. But then what? As the Greek experience demonstrates, any government that defies austerity will instantly clash with the global institutions that protect the 1%. After the radical left party Syriza won the election in January 2015, the European Central Bank, whose job was to promote the stability of Greek banks, pulled the plug on those banks, triggering a €20 billion run on deposits. That forced the left-wing government to choose between bankruptcy and submission. You'll find no minutes, no voting records, no explanation for what the ECB did. It was left to the right-wing German newspaper Stern to explain. They had, quote-unquote, smashed Greece. It was done symbolically to reinforce the central message of neoliberalism that there is no alternative, that all routes away from capitalism end in the kind of disaster that befell the Soviet Union, and that a revolt against capitalism is a revolt against a natural and timeless order. The current crisis not only spells the end of the neoliberal model, it is a symptom of the longer-term mismatch between market systems and an economy based on information. The aim of this book is to explain why replacing capitalism is no longer a utopian dream, how the basic forms of a post-capitalist economy can be found within the current system, and how they could be expanded rapidly. Neoliberalism is the doctrine of uncontrolled markets. It says that the best route to prosperity is individuals pursuing their own self-interest, and the market is the only way to express that self-interest. It says the state should be small, except for its riot squad and secret police, that financial speculation is good, that inequality is good, that the natural state of humankind is to be a bunch of ruthless individuals competing with each other. Its prestige rests on tangible achievements. In the past 25 years, neoliberalism has triggered the biggest surge in development the world has ever seen, and it unleashed an exponential improvement in core information technologies. But in the process, it has revived inequality to a state close to that of 100 years ago, and has now triggered a survival-level event. The civil war in Ukraine, which brought Russian special forces to the banks of the Dniester, the triumph of ISIS in Syria and Iraq, the rise of fascist parties in Europe, the paralysis of NATO as its populations withhold consent for military intervention, these are not problems separate from the economic crisis. They are signs that the neoliberal order has failed. Over the past 2 decades, millions of people have resisted neoliberalism, but in general, the resistance failed. Beyond all the tactical mistakes and the repression, the reason is simple. Free market capitalism is a clear and powerful idea, while the forces opposing it looked like they were defending something old, worse, and incoherent. Among the 1%, neoliberalism has the power of a religion. The more you practice it, the better you feel and the richer.
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.